Hi, everybody. As of 8 weeks ago, I became the CEO of Cancer Support Community. And I have to say, it feels like home, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And Alicia, thank you so much for thanking our board of directors. I would like to thank our amazing staff of Cancer Support Community. So if you are a staff member or volunteer, please stand up, and thank you for all you do. You've learned a little bit about our history. It's my honor to follow in the footsteps of the founders of the Wellness Community and Gilda's Club and to work arm in arm with our network partners at the Cancer Support Communities, Gilda's Clubs, and healthcare partners across the country. Some of these remarkable people are in this room this evening, and so please stand when I call your name and we'll hold the applause until the end. So, Cancer Support Community, Los Angeles. CSC, Central Ohio. Gilda's Club, Westchester, New York. CSC at Holy Name Medical Center. Thank you so much for all you do. You really make a difference. I'm so happy to be here and meeting everyone during our cocktail hour and learn about why you support Cancer Support Community. Number one, thank you for your support. And I'd like to ask, if you've been impacted by cancer in your life, someone that you love, someone that you care about, please raise your hand. Look at this. I'd say close to, man, it looks like 100% possibly, or very close to. That's why it's so important to have someone in an organization like Cancer Support Community that provides direct services. You may be wondering, what brought me to CSC? Why did I come here? What's my connection to the mission? I have a personal belief and passion in the mission of Cancer Support Community. On a personal level, I've been impacted by cancer multiple times in my life. So you're going to see a family picture. Okay, that's my mom, dad, me, and my brother Donnie. And I'm 3 years old, and Donnie is 1. My mom is a 32-year breast cancer survivor. Thank goodness, knock on wood. My father, my dad, was diagnosed with cancer of the throat and tonsils. He was actually moving towards the survivor journey of cancer and was cancer-free. But after 3 years of treatment, he was down to 85 pounds. He couldn't taste food anymore. He lost all of his teeth due to the radiation. And if you, my dad, he was a farmer. I grew up on a rural farm in Virginia, and my daddy could not get up on the tractor anymore. My dad didn't feel like a whole person. My dad died by gun suicide. My brother Donnie Mason there, was diagnosed with esophageal cancer for 2 years, and it was stage 4, and had already spread to his lungs and to his liver. He was 50 years old. For 2 years, he had arduous chemotherapy every week. I used to think I couldn't do that, but he was determined. After 2 years of nonstop chemo, his last 8 weeks, he decided to stop chemo and to go home, and he wanted hospice care at home. I lived with him for those 8 weeks and was his primary caregiver because I just wanted my mom to be mom, to sit by his bedside and to make him soup and not do all that heavy lifting. How many of you have been a caregiver for somebody with cancer? Raise your hand. Thank you for what you do for your loved ones. The stress is hard to describe. I was working from his home, trying to take care of him, trying to be a comfort to my mom, but I wouldn't trade being there for anything in the world. And I was by his bedside nonstop in this last 6 hours of life. I actually began my career as a social worker, and regardless of my role at any organization, I'm a social worker at heart. I really believe that when people receive support, compassion, care, just like when I was at Mothers Against Drunk Driving and then at Everytown for Gun Safety, working with gun violence survivors, that receiving support from others makes the impactful difference. You don't feel alone. You don't feel like all the burden is on your family. When I graduated from graduate school with my MSW degree, my first job was a medical social worker in Dallas, Texas, with a hospice program. That was in the mid-90s. 90% of the patients that I served and counseled were men dying of AIDS. I learned so many incredible lessons there, but the number one lesson that has stayed with me throughout is that everybody, and I mean every single person, deserves support, kindness, love, compassion, and the resources that are needed regardless of what situation they are going through. When I started to consider joining CSC, something that struck with me was the organization's deep commitment to advancing health equity in cancer care. In the last year, CSC Washington, D.C., in Wards 7 and 8, if you know Washington, D.C., began providing support and navigation services to impacted people living in our nation's capital. And you may wonder, why D.C.? Well, according to the District of Columbia's Department of Health, disparities in access to care and in the quality of care are seen in every aspect of cancer control, beginning with screening, early detection, incidence treatment, quality of care, and survival. Out west, we've opened an additional site for American Indians at the Indian Family Health Clinic in Great Falls, Montana. And the Specialty Care Center on Navajo Nation land continues to thrive with over 2,000 visits by cancer patients every day. I recently talked to some patients on Navajo Nation patients, and they drive up to 3 hours each way for treatment. 3 hours each way. One of their biggest needs is money for gas, the way that gas prices are going up. I believe it's our moral imperative to be a voice and resource for people who historically have lacked access to comprehensive health care and services. And I'm so deeply impressed with what CSC is doing. And I want to reaffirm our commitment to reduce cancer care disparities and to keep in mind always diversity, equity, and exclusivity. I truly believe that I've come full circle in my career. I'm thrilled to join Cancer Support Community, to have this opportunity to help lead the talented team of professionals at our headquarters and across the country with our network and healthcare partners. And you, our generous, generous supporters, to reach even more people impacted by cancer and to make a tremendous positive impact. My vision, our team's vision, is that every single person in America who's diagnosed with cancer knows about Cancer Support Community to receive these impactful services that nobody else really provides at the level that we do across the country. Decades ago, our founders made a promise to everyone impacted by cancer. With your support, we will continue to do so and always know that community is stronger than cancer. Thank you so much.